welcome to episode 8. Well, this isn't, this is episode 8 of us talking about Dexter New Blood. This isn't actually, episode 8, although it is episode 8. Sorry. I'm just going to confuse everybody. These are our reactions to episode 8 of Dexter. Hey, Mal.
Hi, Mal.
Here's the bingo card, Mal. And I want to first, really quickly, before we get started, I just want to say, because we have some panelists that are affected by this, and this is very close to home for me, not close to where I am. I'm fine. It's not, I just mean it's close to home because of past history and so many friends. But if you haven't heard the news or watched the news, Colorado is in serious trouble right now. Outside of Boulder, which, if you don't know Boulder, it's a city that it's famous for having CU is up there, and it's a really big city, and it has lots of little suburbs, and those suburbs are on fire. Superior, the town of Superior, had 500 homes destroyed, and these are cities. These are not like, they're suburbs, but they're not like in the mountains where it's just like, I'm not saying that those wildfires are okay either, but it's not what you're thinking. It's like a Costco was burning, a Home Depot was burning. And we have panelists who, I'm not going to say who they are just for their privacy, but who have had things destroyed, who are being evacuated. So please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. I know thoughts and prayers sometimes sounds really cheesy, but right now it could be used because it's really scary. Honestly, this is really terrifying. This is the most devastating fire that this state has ever had, honestly, as far as the most houses lost. This is basically, the town of Superior could basically be gone. So it's very devastating. It's very freaky. The firefighters can't do anything because the wind is like 100-mile-per-hour wind. And it's drier than dry here. We have had hardly any snow here. This is climate change in action. This is what climate change does, is this. So just please keep us in your thoughts. Please keep our panelists in your thoughts, please. I'm fine. A lot of our panelists are fine, but I just want to just put that out there. Okay, so now we're going to get into something a lot lighter, even though this episode was the most stressful thing in the world. But I'm grateful to have distractions like this. And I hope that these have also been great distractions for this weird time we're in right now. So let's get started with Dexter episode 8, which I cannot now remember. I can never remember the names of these episodes. Why? Anyone got it for me?
Something bloody. I don't know. Knives galore.
Knives galore.
Stabby, Stabbersons.
Stabby.
Scarface.
The Joker was here.
The Joker was here. That's the best one. The Joker was here. But anyway, this episode was probably, in my opinion, the most tense one we have had so far. So this is basically where we left Dexter last time on That's Dexter. Dexter was in a real pickle. He was kidnapped.
Oh boy.
He was
That's
kidnapped.
Dexter.
He was kidnapped by that trucker dude who we didn't know the name of at that time. And that was where it was left off, was at that place, because he was going to go and talk to Harrison finally, and then he got kidnapped and tied up, not in the way that I would like Dexter to be tied up, but he was tied up.
In a way less sexy way.
Yeah.
It was non-consensual tying up.
It was non-consensual, yes, which is not the good kind of tying
It's
up.
not sexy.
Okay, ready? Consent. So we're going to start, as we always do, with getting the ratings. So on a scale of 1 to 5 blood slides, Carla, what
5. 5. I'm not even going to wait for you. I'm going straight with 5.
Damn.
This was a 5er.
Wow. And Jay.
I'm not here to play around.
Oh my God, we've got porn bots again.
Oh God.
I'm assuming this is a porn.
Your dreams online.
I mean, maybe they're talking about Dexter's dream, in which case, welcome.
Yeah, you've been blocked.
The porn bots have finally made it to the Dexter live
To the
streams.
right
It was,
live stream. Just to the right live stream.
it was the last time you put the call out there, you put it out in the universe. You're like, porn bots, where are you? During Dexter.
They
Come on.
watched the last one. They're like, man, she is horny. We gotta go track her down. I really need to mark all of these like adult only, but then I'm worried that I'll get
No,
more.
now you're really
so
gonna
much
invite
worse.
them.
So Jen, what do you rate this one? Do you rate
Ooh.
it the same?
I don't know if I could. I don't think I can go the full 5. I will give it a good solid 4.5. You know, it's all because of Kurt. He is the fucking worst, but damn, that actor is so good because it just makes me hate him. So that, because at first I was like, well, I just did not like Kurt at all in this episode, so I'm gonna give it like a 3.5. I was like, but actor's name's escaping me. I was like, but he's
Clancy
doing
Brown.
Thank you. So I'm like, he's doing such a good job though, and he's just doing an amazing job of making me hate him and just fucking loathe him. So it got bumped to a 4.5 because I was like, he's doing good, and I like a good bad guy. So he is a good guy to hate.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it got bumped up because I would have been bummed if because I'm gonna give it a 5 too. I know this is the 3rd episode in a row I've given a 5 to 5 to. I don't care. And by the way, this episode's called Unfair Game. So I looked it up. Yeah.
Okay, completely nothing to do with knives or blood. Okay, fine. Fine.
But there were knives and there were blood.
Mhm.
There were blood.
There were
was
blood.
blood.
There
Man.
were be blood.
There were be blood. So we've already knocked a couple of these out on this thing. The bingo card thing, I mean. Okay, so let's get okay, so now where to start here? They're really there's 2 big things going on in this episode. The main one is Dexter trying to get free and trying to get to Harrison because he knows Harrison's in danger and he knows Harrison's in danger from Kurt. So trying to get there, and then Kurt and Harrison's whole thing with Kurt being, oh my gosh. I'm assuming, I don't know what this is, but I'm assuming this is not someone we want in here. Wouldn't you say, people?
I mean, like
the shit. I mean, I'm not a well-traveled person, but the shit.
Voon Rent? What does VUN stand for? Do we want to know?
That's what
We're
this
never
live
just
stream is about. We're just gonna
under
guess.
nudes.
Oh, vagina under nudes. That makes so much sense. For rent.
For rent. Oh my gosh.
There you go. There you go. Oh wow, we've just uncovered something here. We've cracked the code.
I don't know. What is it about certain ones that attracts people and certain ones that don't? It was the Christmas one and this one.
Right.
And it's none of the others. Maybe it's not English. Yeah, it probably is. You're probably right. But
It's just a horny time of the year. I don't know.
I'm looking this up. What all languages?
Well,
do you
I don't
speak?
speak
Sorry.
Voon Rent. Mal's
We all
asking what
stopped and I was
languages
all
we
looking,
all
yes.
speak. It's definitely not Voon Rent. I have never taken the time that to learn Voon Rent. I've always wanted to. Duolingo doesn't have it, unfortunately, so I'm out of luck there. My local library is not stocked on Voon Rent, so I'm stuck with Spanish, English, and some passable French.
See, I know I am really ashamed to say I know English and passable sort of French. Merde.
So you know the important words.
Yes. Je m'appelle Erin.
Oh.
Je m'appelle Dexter.
I have bad English and some bad Spanish, and then the only Korean I know was what my mom used to yell at us. And when I asked her friend one day, she's like, "You don't want to know." Those are the languages I speak. Fluent in Korean swears.
Je m'appelle Dexter, tie me to the bed.
Very
See,
good French.
You're just calling the porn bots now.
Sorry, everyone. Okay, we will get to the episode now. Okay. So like I said, Dexter is trying desperately to get to Harrison and to save him from horrible, awful Kurt. Who, oh my God. And then in the meantime, so we're going to talk about this one first, because I think this is the least, I mean, it is important, but in the scheme of things, it's the least important thing going on in this episode. And that's Angela. Angela finally learning from Logan, who I can't wait to hear your theory on Logan, Carla. But she learns that Dexter, or Jim Lindsay, got in a fight with the guy who sold the drugs to, to Harrison. Sorry.
The dude with the drugs for the other dude.
The dude with the drugs. So she learns that. She starts investigating, looking into the Bay Harbor Butcher, all that kind of stuff. So, Carla, what are your thoughts on Angela in this episode?
Okay, so let's kick off by saying that, yes, Angela is a very smart woman. She is, very dedicated and all of that, blah, 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 blah. But the problem here seems to be that she needs to have like all of the crumbs laid out in bread-shaped form on her desk for her to be able to see the big picture. It's not enough that Dexter's been lying to her, his name thing and all of this stuff, and he has a son that just showed up out of nowhere, and he gives her really like no real information about him, and she just kind of accepts like the most superficial BS story without any kind of additional thought to it. And like it's one of the things that frustrate me the most about shows like this is that they do, when they do give you a woman character who is in a position of power, and she's like representation and all of this, and she's they keep calling her smart, but then they keep giving her things that are not smart to do, and it's really frustrating as a viewer and somebody who wants to be excited about Angela. But it's not Angela's fault. Like I'm putting this plainly, like on the writers, because the reason that Angela comes to all of these conclusions is because of Molly and all of the very like elephant-sized hints that Molly has dropped all throughout the season, and that she's kind of just presenting to her on a silver platter, just for Angela to finally connect the dots. And this is where my Logan theory comes in. So, are we ready? Yes. I'm sure you are. Okay.
Wish I had some noise for theory time. Some kind of, I need to do a theme. Theory time.
So here's my theory time of theory. It's that, okay, did you notice that when Logan just happened to drop this information to Angela about Miles and how Jim had beaten him, and it was just like, oh, sorry I didn't tell you sooner. It's just the convenient time at which he dropped it, when she really needed something to pull everything together. And so that made me think, wait, so all of these convenient hints being left by Molly and Logan, have they been working together this whole time? Like, was the breakup a fake, just to kind of throw people off the scent? Has it been a thing of, where they're coordinating all of this information? um yeah, like that's my theory is that the reason he seems so shady is because something is up, and the something being up, I mean, it could still well be that he's tied up with this whole Kurt thing in some way, but also because if Logan helps to get rid of Dexter, then that serves that serves Kurt's purpose as well of getting revenge on Dexter for killing Matt. And then the way that he could go around this is, through Molly, and Molly, who conveniently showed up right when Matt went missing. So there's just like a lot of things here that are coincidences. And oh my God, if I'm wrong about all of this, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to like just write a fanfic that is just all my theories. I'm going to be like, I'm going to rewrite the whole season.
Okay, this is my favorite theory you have had so far, because this is the theory that I want to happen more than any other theory, because I think something is definitely up with Logan, because Logan is one of those, like you said, Jen, you go back and forth on him.
Back
He's
and
like,
forth. There's
one week you're like,
something
oh,
about
he's really
him.
cool, and he seems really kind of just like like a saddest of sad boys, like you said, Carlo, and he's just kind of dopey. And then the next minute you're like, something's really weird with this guy. So I like that theory a lot more than him working with Kurt. And I like that theory more because that means he's not like that there isn't like a whole network. I mean, you can see people do stuff for Kurt, but the fact that the guy that was kidnapping Dexter gave up where Kurt was taking Harrison
was
like 2
hilariously
seconds,
fast.
So
makes me
fast.
think these people don't have as much loyalty to Kurt as he thinks they do. So, I mean, I'm hoping that theory is right. And I think, I think I remember, Jen, a long time ago, back on like episode 1 or 2, before Carla was here, I think we did talk about how, what if all of these people in the police force, Angela, I mean, well, it looks like Angela wasn't, but all these people actually know who Dexter is. And they've been plotting this thing the whole time. And this is just their big, long way of capturing him. So I think, does kill count as murder? Yes, that will count as murder. I count that as murder. So yes, you can get that on your bingo square. So I like that because that plays into that theory, because I thought that was an interesting theory as well. I mean, we even discussed that maybe even Harrison was part of that. So I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. And I do want to say, it's funny because actually I'll let Jen give her thoughts first, and then I'll say this. But I just wanted to say I think that's I'm laughing at Mal's comment about being fluent in Southern. You know what's funny, Mal? I'm just gonna say really sorry, little tangent here, is when I used to act all the time, I played a lot of Southern characters. And so it used to be so easy for me to slip into a Southern accent that sometimes I would start talking and it would just happen. And my friend and I, we used to go to the store and we would pretend we were from the South, and we would put on these characteristics and we dress differently. You already got bingo. Wow, that is
I think that's a record.
That's like a record. Jinx.
Yeah, wild women in podcasting. So that just reminds me that we used to do that, and people would be like, look at us like, okay, weird Southern white women. Anyway.
Now, Southern
I don't know
Asian is not one you get very often, but I'm going to share my Southern Asian thoughts. I'm from South Korea, so that kind of counts. I'm sorry. I'm doing a really bad job. I've been doing like my British accent like the last couple of days, so it takes a while to get into the swing of shit.
But your thoughts. And then I'll give you my Southern accent later. I haven't done it in forever, so it'll probably suck, but go for it, Jen.
All right. So I really enjoyed seeing Angela this episode, really putting those pieces together. Like Carla said, these breadcrumbs in the shape of a slice of bread. And it is frustrating to see that, but it's a lot of fun seeing her putting all these pieces together. And oh, bless you, Mal. And sorry, I can't do it.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Oh. And then I'm just gonna bump right into my microphone. So, but no, it's Carla, you make a lot of good points about Angela kind of only almost Like the picture needs to be painted for her almost, or like the color by numbers kind of thing. But it has been very fun kind of watching her go through and put it together, because that is kind of stressful, just the pieces falling into place. With Logan, I thought something was kind of up with him, when hubby and I watched it the other night. I was just like, I'm like, okay. I'll let it. I can maybe forgive that. Oh, he just kind of forgot about it. He's just going to bring it up now. But then when he kind of almost nonchalantly says to Angela about when he brought in Miles and Dexter, that's when he got that other name. And it's like, so you just happened to name drop that you brought them both in. They were both there within earshot of each other. And then Dexter bounces. And that's when I was just kind of like, I don't know about that. I felt like that little bit was unnecessary.
Yeah, it was like too fake innocent. Like, ooh,
yes.
I just happened to be dropping this information for no good reason at this precise moment that it makes sense for you to hear it.
Yes. And he's so willy-nilly with sharing his sad breakup playlists and everything. It's like, I mean,
he shared it with the world. Everybody can listen to it now.
Such a good sad playlist. Blood, Spatter by Numbers. That's awesome.
I know.
So I kind of like this new theory, Carla, that you've got going on.
Yay!
But at the same time, I kind of hate it. I mean, you make a lot of really good points, and it's actually hard to kind of be like, no, it's not for these reasons. The only reason I have is that just pacing. We only have 10 episodes, from the logistics standpoint. And that's
2 left.
Yeah. And so these characters need to kind of start doing these very like almost questionable things of providing information. But then you realize, oh yeah, there's 1 episode left. We didn't have, season 1 original run was only like 12 episodes. So we would have only gotten 2 more, but where then maybe some of this stuff didn't feel like, oh, maybe it's all planned and plotted. But I guess I'm kind of looking for any kind of like conspiracy level type shit here. I don't know why, but I kind of want it. I don't care where it's at now. I don't think.
I'm constantly looking for things to tie together. I'm like, but wait, wouldn't it be awesome if this is what was really happening? And if it turns out to be something like vanilla, like, oh no, Molly just happened to give this information and Logan just happened to drop this knowledge at this particular moment in time, I'm going to be like, my idea was so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hire me for next season, Dexter writers.
But it's like, the thing is, it's like, I don't know if Logan and Molly are that smart. Maybe they are. Maybe that's all part of the act. That's all part of
I don't think Logan is that smart, but I think Molly is. Hey, I called him like a season. No, because like Logan,
I agree. Logan
really
is
seems like somebody who's just kind of going with where the tide takes him. Like he's the wrestling coach at the school, but he's also a cop. And when he's being the coach at the school, he's kind of like catering to what the kids want him to be the cool coach. And like Harrison breaks the kid's arm. And it's more about like, you're making me look bad, Harrison, than about like, hey, Harrison, you broke a kid's arm. Yeah. So yeah, like I don't really see Logan being the one to have put together the roadmap. I definitely see that being more Molly's thing. And if it turns out that it was him, like if I'm right, but it was him in the driver's seat, I'm gonna protest that as well. I'm gonna start a change.org petition.
A change.org petition.
Now,
I don't know for what.
But what if it's been Teddy this whole time?
Can you imagine being Teddy the mastermind?
He's so happy. I swear we mentioned that on a different episode too.
I will laugh my ass off and then never be able to take this show seriously ever again. But I'd still love it. I wouldn't hate it.
Like Kenny just comes out in like a smoking jacket. It was I the whole time. Theodore.
Theodore. I'm Theodore.
I
Theodore.
am Matt's paternal twin, and I masterminded this the entire time.
Matt's maternal twin.
You got like secret half brothers or some shit. Oh, let's go soap opera.
I crashed that drone on purpose. For it was the only way I could express my anger.
Oh, Teddy, Theodore.
Theodore Caldwell. To
Theodore
you commoners.
Yes, to you commoners.
You may know me as Theodore What's His Face. However,
What's his face?
I have a face.
You would love him with all your heart.
Smoking jacket Theodore Caldwell.
That's
Oh.
Theodore.
Theodore.
Dexter.
Theodore Caldwell.
I would love to see Dexter's reaction to this.
He would laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
No, I think he would. I think it would be like that GIF where he's screaming, and it would just be that.
Or maybe the one where he's just kind of like,
Yeah,
full mouth breathing.
you're kidding.
Sorry.
Aw, aw, Mal. Yes.
Aw.
Really quickly, I'll just say, Mal and I are live tweeting the seminal classic Halloween Town High
Oh.
on Monday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, that's the time. Sorry. Yes. So the seminal classic that, I will feel very uncomfortable if I say anything sexual about Finn Whitrock while we're tweeting about that because he looks like he's 15. So I'm not going to. So it'll be very PG.
Whoa. What a handsome young man.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll just say, what a cute guy. That's all. And then I'll go and look at.
to be very handsome.
Oh my god, that Instagram post today just about killed me, and I think he purposely did that to kill everybody. Anyway,
Mhm.
I almost shared it with you, Carla, just because, but then I was like, no.
She'd be so excited.
Just something else for me to ignore.
I know. Anyway, so we were on Theodore.
Theodore Caldwell.
Theodore Caldwell.
My daddy may be from New York, but my heart is from England. Yes, it is my villain accent.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, okay. So what about a fandom thing like Pod about a fictionalized movie about the Bay serial killer that Angela is obsessed with before Dexter comes to town? Oh, so like we could do, what's so funny, Mal, that you said that is I honestly was thinking and playing into my acting heart is doing like one of those, like a, the radio shows, basically like a radio play. So that would be interesting.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Sign me up for that.
Okay, we are going to be presenting our own thing soon.
It's a fandom thing theater. Theater.
Theater. It's the theater.
Theater.
I'm serious, but you can joke all you want to. I am serious.
Oh, I'm serious about being in.
Okay, Jen.
You can probably count on Meg
I
too.
have a choice. Okay, yes.
No, you don't have a choice. I'm sorry, I forgot.
No.
I control you.
I like the illusion of choice.
Yes.
So yes.
Yes. What?
Mistress.
Thank you. I've given up on trying to get Carla to do it, but whatever. As a you love that idea as a patron. Thank you. Yes. Mal is one of our patron supporters. So Okay. So my thoughts, I want to first say it's really funny because most of Twitter, Dexter Twitter, hates this, hates that Angela is the one that's discovering all this stuff. They're like, seriously, this small town cop is going to discover that
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
Bay Harbor Butcher. They are really pissed. They're like, if this is who brings him down, I'm going to be furious.
If it helps,
What do
it's
they
actually
want?
Molly. So
Yeah. Well, and they did make a good point. One good point they made is that with the ketamine, that's not what Dexter used in Miami, by the way. It was something
that's
else.
right.
And so they totally messed that up. So that is a fair criticism, I will say. And I do agree. It's kind of, I don't mind that she's the one that's discovering it, but it is kind of like she basically just needs a neon sign. And it's like Dexter is a serial killer, where it just flashes for her
Like
constantly.
airport people, like
Over
phones.
here, Angela,
like the
right
whole
there,
town knows, and
there.
she's the last one to find out.
That's exactly what it. So it doesn't necessarily feel like she's just brilliant. It feels more like she's just following the breadcrumbs, and they're not breadcrumbs. They're like steaks, and I don't know.
But it's breaded steak.
She's
Just to
right,
keep it in theme.
or it's bloody.
P.S. I'm
steak,
hungry.
and she's a bloodhound. You're hungry. Here,
Yes, I'm hungry.
do you want a Reese's?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, is that a
you mean person. Here.
I'm completely sober for this one.
That was great.
Do you want one, Jen?
Yes, please.
Okay. Whoops.
Got it.
Whoa, that was way far under my desk. So I'm gonna have to get that later, or I'll find it in a year. Yes, I also have Dove milk chocolates.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay, stop throwing food at us. Stop throwing food at us, because I'm just gonna like eat my microphone.
Whoa. Okay. So yeah, so those are. From destruction comes creation. The destruction of his efficiency as a serial killer comes the creation of his downfall, or the rise of his son's career. I like that a lot. Yeah. I just think the way you worded that is very poetic. So it could be just I like the way you worded it. But I do like that a lot. So okay. Well, I'm gonna move on from that because I don't have much else to add, and my brain is gone, apparently.
Throwing candy at us.
Okay, so let's get into it all coincides. So we're just going to get into the rest of it. So I want to know, Carla, how much are you loving Michael C. Hall in this episode on a scale of 50 to 50? How much do you love Michael C. Hall in this episode?
It's like 55.
Yeah.
Because my scale does not move. It doesn't move way past that. But yes, he was just excellent in this. It's all of the all of the things that we love about Dexter, but with this primal thing in him, because he has to save his son. So while he is still, thinking like a killer, because he's not thinking like a victim. He's not thinking like somebody who has been kidnapped and who has to save himself. And, he's not in a panic at all for himself. He's kind of coldly analyzing the situation, assessing his next move, and hey, while I'm at it, I get to stab somebody. Yay. So it's like it's all the things that we love about Dexter, plus all the things that we love about whatever season this is, 9, 10, 11, 14, Dexter.
Considered season 1 of Dexter New Blood, but
Yeah,
season 9.
But it's all of
Yes,
these
he
things
was kidnapped.
combined.
Dexter napped.
He was Dexter napped. Yes. It was awful. It was just awful. That 30-minute ride must have been hell for him. And by the way, the one thing that the kidnapping guy almost got right is making those things really tight. Because like,
Mhm.
how do you make it so that they're basically already like cutting into his wrists?
Mhm.
Well, let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Not sorry. She's not.
But speaking of performances, that was a really good one.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So, ropes 101 with Aaron.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be teaching classes
Oh,
later.
we're gonna be showing somebody the ropes.
Boom.
Love it.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. We've gone off the rails, which is so unusual for us.
Totally.
Okay. So Jen, on a scale of 60 to 60, what do you give Michael C. Hall? I raised it since Twilight said 55.
He did all right. He did a pretty good job, I thought.
All right.
Just wanted to see what your reaction was going to be. No, he was great. I mean, even from the beginning during like the dream sequence when he walks into the cabin and he has that look on his face. And what?
Sorry.
Mouse comment.
Oh, you know
Sorry.
they are.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Nope, that's all right. Totally understandable. Yeah, no, he did a great job. Mama's working. That needs to be like on a mug or something too.
Yes.
With your logo and some handcuffs around the microphone. Mama's working. I'll take one of those.
Oh my God. Sorry. Go. Sorry, I'm muting myself because I.
She's muting herself. That's hilarious. It was he did a great job. Super proud of him. Good job, Michael C. Hall. No, he like I said, from the dream sequence and his reaction to walking in on Harrison killing the bullies to that last scene with him and Harrison in the truck, and then everything in between, like that frantic, like parental need to get there and save your kid because you know that the person they're with is dangerous as fuck. And I'm pretty sure at this point, Dexter kind of realizes that Kurt is using Harrison to get back to him. So he knows how incredibly in danger Harrison is. So I was so happy when he was finally like, I need to be honest with you. And he starts to kind of open up. I'm like, fucking finally. Like, I feel like I'm watching a really long episode of like Three's Company, because all that show was, and I love that show, was just non-communication. No one telling people shit and then assuming things.
Gee, that sounds also like Supernatural. 50 years of
like a
people
lot of shows.
completely crossing each other's thought streams. Yes, that sounds familiar.
Intentionally not telling people things. Oh my God, drives me nuts, but makes for fun TV yelling and watching. So yeah, he did a good job. He gets a 69.
Oh yeah. Now you're talking. You're
Whoa.
speaking my language.
That
Hey, you
is
bumped it up to
spicy.
60. Where else was I supposed to go? So
You're speaking my language now, Jen. You're learning.
oh yeah.
It sounds like
yeah.
Mistress is pleased.
Thank you, Mistress.
I have that yes, mistress thing loaded in here for Sunday, and I'm tempted to do it right now. But anyway, and you are cracking me up too, Mal. So you're cracking me up. So, oh man, Michael C. Hall. Oh God, this man. No, I mean really. Honestly, I'm speechless. Sorry. He's so good and just so good. Just so good. That's all I can say. I give him double 69.
Whoa. I like you showed us already that you're quite bendy, but I wasn't aware that you were that bendy.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, he is so damn good in this episode. I mean, the fear that you see in his eyes, and when he has your language, Mal, um, the more the merrier. Exactly, exactly. I'm in. He can join with my. Sorry.
I love it when you just get all and then you just bail on what you're saying and you apologize.
I'm thinking about that picture I sent you of Michael C. Hall, and then I'm thinking about that picture this morning of Finn Whitrock going, "Yes, look at my dog." I'm like, how is anyone looking at your dog when you're like right here with your hair wet, and then you're like, look at my dog.
I'm only thinking about collars, to be perfectly honest, at this point.
Oh, I like that thinking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what are we talking about?
So that threesome
Michael
would
C.
be
Hall's
it.
performance.
Yes, Michael C. Hall's performance.
So sexy.
I'd like to see a lot of that performance. Never come watch these, Michael C. Hall. Please, I'm begging you.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm very professional. Let me get myself professional. The stream will be cut in half with all the laughter. Yeah. This stream would be about 5 minutes of actual real talk tonight. Anyway, we were a lot more in depth last week when we were drunk than we are. But no, he was like the nightmare, when he has the nightmare, and Harrison has that laugh, that creepy as hell laugh, and that smile. And then Dexter's reaction to that, where he closes his eyes, the way Michael C. Hall did that, you didn't need a single word. You could see he was terrified. Mm-hmm. He was like, fuck. It just blew my mind. I don't know. He just blows my mind. And I just.
Well, because you got that sense that everything that Dexter has been running from, working towards, fighting for, has always been to protect Harrison. Good or bad, right or wrong, whether we agree with it or not. So it's like he finally, in his dream, he has that just god-awful moment of, oh my God, my worst nightmare for my kid has come true. Fun fact, my husband was like, oh, that was a dream.
No. Was he disappointed?
I think a little bit. I think maybe he thought what was going on too was just maybe flashbacks of some kind or flash forwards, or I think Lost fucked him up for storytelling and shows real bad. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, so end of that rant.
Because when I watched that scene, I mean, yes, definitely, like he really drives home like that sorrow, that disappointment. But it's like an internal disappointment. It's not disappointment at Harrison.
Right.
But at the
it's
same
at
time,
himself.
Yeah. But at the same time, it there's like a kind of telling thing in that scene and in that fantasy where it's not just that Harrison kills these kids and has a moment of feeling bad about it, and then it's like, oh. Mm-hmm. There's also like an element of pride in thinking that his son could take 2 armed bullies when he's outnumbered and outclassed. So to me, like that would, if there's any element of oh, my kid is just, it's like that parent bragging thing of, like, oh, my kid could do those monkey bars, no problem, but just like my kid could take on 2 bullies and kill them, and I would be very sad about it,
but I'd also be very proud.
They can do it.
But I'd also be like, that's my son.
That's Harrison.
Yeah. the crossover, the Hannibal crossover. See, I only watched the first couple of seasons of Hannibal, and then I had to stop because it was too much for me. I don't like the character of Hannibal, so I'm not sure. But if Lost is anything like Once Upon a Time, which I gather it is, Mal agrees. Also, as someone who's only seen fully the first and last ep of Lost, bless his heart.
It was yeah, my husband was like, it's like, oh, what if venison's code for people? I was just like, stop.
I know. You said that. You're referencing their venison. That's what you're referencing. Oh, yeah. Well, Jen got that. Yeah. So
yes,
but
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's, and there's so much emotion that Dexter is feeling in this, and we'll get to the final scene last. I want to do that last because the final moments with Dexter and Harrison, because I love the moments with Dexter and Harrison. I seriously was almost crying, honestly, which is weird to say, but I was. That goes to the performances, I think. But
yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
But you see the desperation throughout this episode in Dexter's face, and and how you have the brief moment of Deb being like, "Go find him, just get him. This is your fault," and just being like, "I'm trying," and it's like, I think what Dexter's realizing is, what he's thinking is, if I had just opened up to Harrison from day one, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation at all, and I wouldn't be fearing for my son's life. And that's why I excuse Dexter makes a lot of mistakes anyway, all the time. I love Dexter and he's smart as hell, but he makes some stupid mistakes. And he does that in this episode, but I forgive him in this episode because he's so desperate to find his son that he does not care. He does not give a crap. I don't think he would have cared if he got caught at that point. He's just thinking about Harrison.
Yeah.
And doing anything to get Harrison.
If he had gotten caught at any point during any of this during the episode, he would have probably just been like, he's with Kurt. Kurt is a killer. He would have let like half of the shit out of the bag to Angela, Theodore, or Logan,
Simon,
whomever it happened to be.
Sorry.
So, but I get it. Yeah. It's like when no, I get it. Yeah. I was going to go off, but I was like, well, maybe we'll get more to that part. So I'll just save it for then. So,
okay. You're like, no, because I know how you feel about his sloppiness, and I totally get it, because it is frustrating, some of the stuff that Dexter does. But in this episode, it was just so easy to forgive it because he's in such a desperate position that anyone, I think, would make stupid mistakes, because you're not thinking about, I got to cover my tracks. Because if he had taken the time to cover his tracks after murdering the guy who kidnapped him, he would have been like fucking Harrison over, kind of thing. And so he's so desperate at that point that it doesn't really matter.
Well, and he's justified in that one too. He's been shot in the leg. He's got the bullet match. The ballistics will line up and everything. It's clearly self-defense.
His wrists
got
probably have marks.
And it's, Teddy could figure that one out. So he'd be fine there.
Theodore.
We'll have a theory. And we can have Theater's Theories Corner.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah, but I excused the killing of the redneck hillbilly dude. But at the same time, I was like, just leave the knife in there. He's going to throw a sheet over the body and go. I'm like, all right, I get it. You're on a time crunch. But if this maybe wasn't the first time I was yelling at him about leaving his fucking DNA at places,
that's true. Fine. That's a fair point. Yeah. And I want to quickly ask, what did you think about the Joker scene, as I'm going to call it, with the put a smile on your face, when Dexter takes the rope and like digs into that guy's mouth? That was intense.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I really dug it, because just the entire fleeing from this dude thing was really good. Like, there was so much sinisterness, and it's rare to see Dexter as the prey.
Yeah.
And it in a way, it's kind of a bit of a letdown that he's a prey to this rando to whom we have, we're not invested in him in the least. And he's just a henchman. So it's a little bit frustrating, but it was still like done so well. Everything from the time that he jokers him to the time to when he kills him, the whole thing was just, it was well paced, it was well done. The guy had his cocky moments, and then again that hilarious moment where he's just like, okay, I'll tell you where he is.
Yeah.
Just don't kill me. Yeah. Even though it's like he's clearly going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't know how to use the information for leverage, but
yeah. And Mal's comment is, I love you, Mal. You're on my wavelength. I really appreciate it. But he gave up Kurt. It was so funny how fast he gave up Kurt.
It was comical.
It was like not even 2 seconds. He's like, yep, okay.
You chased him all the way through, bleeding from your new scars. And I loved that scene. Although I was like, why didn't you just go a couple inches down? And I mean, maybe he couldn't or something, but watching that was so gross and so much fun and so great.
So awesome.
And then kind of the close up of when dude's trying to put the snow, because pull it down or whatever, and he kind of opens his mouth a little bit. I'm like, why would you do that? I loved it so much.
It was so good.
It's like a kid when they're like, I hurt myself, and you're like, where? And they're like, here, and they just poke at it. It hurts so much, and stop doing that. But I want to show you how much it hurts.
Yeah.
Sorry, just kids are a whole thing.
But that was exactly what he was doing, and it was creepy, and it was just, and the intensity in Dexter's face when he was doing that, and the anger and that, that's when we love Dexter the most, is when he's, as terrible as it is, that's when we love Dexter the most, when he's in that mode. And he was in that mode, like, to the nth degree, and it was just, I loved it. It was so, yeah. It is hot. You're right, Mal.
You got to fan yourself this time.
Yeah. Remember, I said I will be the submissive in this relationship. And I meant it.
Bitch too.
Yes. We can do both. You can say yes, mistress, and I can say yes, sir sometimes. So anyway, sorry. I'm blaming you, Mal, for that. Because I never
the horny place. She'll take you there. Ain't nobody not horny. She'll take you there.
I did already make a video of you with all of your singing, and I should maybe edit it and add this one in there.
Yes.
Oh my God. It's like 4 hours long.
No, it actually isn't, because sadly there weren't as many on the live streams. So, and I didn't have time to download all of them. I don't have time to do that because that's just going to take forever.
So it would have been 4 hours.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
If you really tried.
See, I haven't read 4-letter. If you really try, if I really gave it my all, you're right. Jen. I'm being so lazy.
Yeah, it's so lazy. God, step it up.
No, get it together, Erin.
No, man, I don't do enough. Jeez.
I know, right?
I only give myself like a couple hours a day where I'm not like trying to think about this all the time. Dang it. Just kidding. I would love it. So does it have BDSM in it or something? Because the one that I would love to talk about is the kinks, but gosh, I love that. Oh man, that fanfic is so fucking good. It is.
Maybe that can be the fic.
Yeah, it does have. Okay. So, sorry, they're trying to convince me to do 4-letter word. So, have you read that one, Carla?
No, I haven't.
4-letter word is like therapy. Okay, we'll think because it'll be this summer when we're gonna record that because we're gonna first record like Rent, and then pretty soon we're gonna be recording American
Oh,
Horror
that's
Story.
right.
Jen,
Uh,
Jen,
when does that
Jen.
start?
I'm gonna create a special DM. I don't know. I was
Okay.
thinking we could do the first one in sometime in February.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So and you have to do them. You have no choice. You'll send more. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mel. Okay. So sorry. So meanwhile, Kurt has taken Harrison to the school and they broke in the school to do batting cage practice. This scene, the first time I watched this scene, oh my gosh, I was like this. I was like, I don't want to look. I
It's
don't because
hard to watch.
It
it's so
is.
hard to watch because I was expecting at any moment that Kurt was gonna like attack him with a bat or it was gonna be 10 times worse. It's already
Mhm.
bad, but so Carla, your thoughts on Kurt as he's basically yeah, trying to
Okay,
be a father.
so are we talking just about this scene?
We can talk about it overall, actually. Just let's talk about it
Okay,
overall. Kurt in general
Just
and the way
all
he
of
is with
okay,
Harrison. Yeah.
all right. Well, starting with the baseball thing, Harrison is out there feeling like he deserves to be hurt, like he's not good enough, he's not worth loving, and so he's just standing there letting all of these curveballs hit him right in the side. And yeah, Kurt wants to hurt Harrison. Like that's his whole purpose for having done that in the first place. But even Kurt, and I think it's also like just that part of Kurt that is like, well, if like with Chloe, where she took charge of the situation, and this is Harrison taking charge of the situation. This isn't Kurt inflicting and guiding the pain. This is Harrison being like, hit me, hit me, hit me. And that's when Kurt gets disgusted at it and says, okay, we're not doing this anymore. Um, which, it says a lot about his character and how cruel he is. And it also says so much about Harrison and how much he's gone through and how much self loathing he has. To imagine that his father left them because he has all of these thoughts and his feelings, and to
Mhm.
have thought from such a young age that the reason that his father left was because he was, quote unquote defective, or that he was broken, and that his father recognized in him that there was something wrong with him, and he fled as far as he could.
Mhm.
That feeling, like, just imagining what that must have done to him throughout all of those years, like that's a full decade of hating yourself, to arrive at your father's door and to have your father be like, not me, and close the door in your face. That's it's awful. And then you have somebody here who is validating you, making you feel loved and wanted and accepted. um it's a huge mental spin, and Harrison is just, it's so unfair to him because at the end of the day he's still a kid. He's a
Mhm.
kid who's had to grow up too fast and who didn't get a chance to really be a kid for very long. And then in the cabin scene, the fact, first of all, the fact that Kurt is feeding Harrison venison, which is just, like, it's his version of the Last Supper, because Matt was killed for killing a deer, and now he's feeding
Mhm.
his killer's son venison. It's like this, what to Kurt must be like a full circle moment. He thinks he's poetic and clever, right? So, and in the meantime, Harrison has no idea of Kurt's machinations. Like, to him, he's just being treated the way that he's always longed to be treated by a father figure. He's finally being, you know, um, taken to do something as simple as, catching, like playing ball
Mhm.
with a parental type. Somebody who's giving him advice, somebody whose last words before he turned on him were, "I never would have left you." And Harrison's face in that moment, whoa, the heartbreak, because that's all he ever wanted to hear. like all he ever wanted to hear from Dexter was, "I made a huge mistake. I'm so sorry. You deserved so much better. It's not your fault." Like that's all he wants, is to know that it's not his fault. And yes, Kurt is telling him that, but he's telling him that as he's like shooing him at the door to say, "It's not your fault, but it's going to happen anyway because of what your father did." And again, it tells you everything about Harrison's character, that his first thought isn't, "What did my dad do?" It's, "What did I do?" Like, how can I make this better? What, please tell. He's begging him not to spare his life, even, but um, to just tell him what he did wrong to deserve this. And this is being hit on the side with the balls again. This is him, taking that punishment as a deserved thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely heartbreaking, and I just this whole episode was just Harrison finally getting to be a kid instead of a jaded teenager who's seen too much, and but not in a sweet way like he deserves it, but in a really awful, cruel, taunting way.
Yeah, that just made me want to cry.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. My heart just, and I know there was a brief moment where I was like, I don't know if I like Harrison anymore, but that was so brief because my heart just really breaks for him a lot, a lot, a lot. So Jen, your thoughts on Kurt?
Oh, well, first of all, completely agree with everything Carla just said about Harrison. I ditto that shit so fucking hard. Not much else I can add to that. But with regards to Kurt, oh my God, he just drove me nuts. The way he fucking intentionally like manipulated Harrison every step of the way. Oh, your dad never did this. Oh, your dad never did that. Oh, you and your dad never. Fuck you, you know that. And poor Harrison should have seen through that shit, but he was in such a down place that, and he just, that need and want for that parental, that fatherly type figure, he's not seeing it. And at this point, Kurt's been nice to him, he's helped him out, got him a job, encouraged him during the wrestling match and everything, so he really doesn't have any reason to be like, this guy's a giant walking red flag. He's just nothing but nice. And you know what, he's someone in this town that doesn't, that kind of sees through my dad's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of drawn to him in addition to that, that way too. But God, just all episode long, the way Kurt just was pulling that shit with fucking Harrison just pissed me off, made me so mad at him. I just really wanted to just like fucking punch him and kick him in the nuts, and I don't know, maybe strap him to a table and wrap him in plastic. Who knows? We'll see where the night ends. But he just
God, I just wanted to die so bad.
Yes. Oh God, he was the fucking worst. And then doing all this nice stuff for him at the cabin, feeding him, telling him all these lies. I'm like, he has had plenty of time to perfect his the that psychopath in him, how to play that nice guy, and you say all the words and you make the right face and you use the right tone and you get those people and they trust you and they let their guard down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back out in his snowy camo. I'm like, you did not get dressed that fast, first of all.
I know.
That's true.
But yeah, and then Harrison just like, I'm sorry, what did I do? That was so heartbreaking because, again, ditto everything Carla just said. Nails it absolutely on the head there. So this definitely was the episode where I was like, poor Harrison. Like, really, truly fucking poor Harrison. Not just everything up until he got up to Iron Lake. If nothing else, definitely this fucking episode, because Kurt used him and then just broke him. Well, tried to break him anyway. So I so glad that Dexter made it and everything. And so that was that part was all fun and everything. comes barreling in the truck. But oh God. And that's why I'm a little half and half with the whole, Dexter going to Harrison and not Kurt. I get the parental thing of wanting to check and make sure your kid's okay, give them that hug, they're safe, you're there. Oh, but that motherfucker, Dexter, you're a killer. That's what you do. Not well lately, but that's what you do. Finish it. Just fucking end it and be done with it. But I get you need to hug your kid. I mean, that's the whole reason why you've been running across the county or whatever, however far it was, like a whole day. But I'm just like, the one time you could ignore your kid and it would be fine. It's like you had your hall pass, Dexter, and you didn't take it.
Yeah, and Kurt's running away like in the most cowardly manner, like, oh no,
because he's such a coward.
Such a coward. And my husband's
coward.
like, he's totally got tunnels or some shit. They need to go. Well, but he's like, he's got tunnels. He's like, no way, Kurt's chunky butt's running out of sight in that short amount of time.
No, there's no way.
His
Yeah,
chunky
he
butt.
definitely has. He definitely has like a network under there. Oh, I don't even want to think about what he's done down there. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, where he does all his weird shit that we still don't fully know about.
Yep.
Oh, that stuff is so fucking weird.
It's so gross. And I think
Yeah.
maybe that's part of the reason why too my husband's venison is people.
Well, when you take in the whole comparison there of the fact that, his son died because of shooting a deer really is what led to his death. And so then you have eating that deer. There is kind of a way you could
Sure.
kind of
Make it all work.
Make that work as kind of a euphemism of that because yeah. Well, Kurt, I despise Kurt, and I can't wait for him to die. I don't even care if Harrison kills him. I'm perfectly fine with it now. I'm perfectly fine if Harrison and Dexter kill him together, honestly, because I hate Kurt so dang much. And, there have been a lot of characters that have deserved to be on Dexter's table, and Kurt is way up there. So he's just scum. And the way he used and manipulated Harrison in this episode was so dang painful to watch because he's just playing on all of those, that abandonment crap. And, and when you are abandoned by a parent, you don't blame the parent in your head. You blame yourself. You're always thinking there's something I did. What did I do? And for Harrison, it's like to the nth degree because he hasn't ever been able to connect to his father really and hasn't had that. And who knows what his life was like growing up with another serial killer. We don't know any history of that. And like I said before, he also has another family in Florida, and who knows if he ever tried to talk to them and they might have slammed the door in his face too. So he's just been rejected so much that all he can think about is that it's him. I mean, in the opening part, even when he sees Audrey, and I'm so glad we got nothing of Audrey except for that one scene, I want to say. But when he sees Audrey and she's flirting with that other guy, and because he gets a smile on his face at first and this hope, and then he sees that and it's just like, oh, crestfallen. And it's just like another rejection and a rejection for who I am. And nobody wants me because of who I am. And then here he's finds this person who's like, okay, well, I'm going to embrace all these dark urges that you have. In a way, he's like, okay, it's good to be bad sometimes, as Kurt says. I wanted to smack him. And the batting cage scene,
oh yeah,
is the saddest scene in the whole episode, the hardest scene to watch, the most painful, because of the fact that number one, you got Kurt getting off on his pain at first, then he gets angry, and then he still gets off on the pain when he starts firing the baseballs at him again. And every time he gets hit, and Harrison having all those flashes and memories of his dad and all this other stuff. And it's basically, it's like, it's watching someone who is into self-harm, basically, and being like, this is the only way that I can numb this pain is through getting hit by these baseballs. And these baseballs are representing my dad and not even my dad and all this crap that I've done and who I am and how awful I must be to have had my dad throw me away basically, and then fake his own death to run as far away from me as he possibly could, and then to totally slam the door in my face and pretend he's not even my dad, and pretend he's somebody else. And to have that rejection has got to be just the most heartbreaking of all. And the actor, I want to say, the performance, oh my gosh, he is so good at playing that. And he's so good at when he was playing creepy as hell, because he was so flippin' creepy. I mean, he was like that smile and that laugh
It
in that
was
dream sequence.
chilling.
Oh yeah, Jack
very good.
Alcott. So I just want to give him a shout out because he's so good.
He's done a really great job. Like I said, did not care about Harrison, but now I'm just like, oh, my poor little squirrel killer. Sorry, had to get one in. But
no, what squirrels? Not my Harrison. Was not harm a squirrel. But not my Harrison that had goats and cared for goats. He would not harm a squirrel. Sorry.
Squirrels are more annoying. But the way he just kept stepping into the balls too, at the batting cage. That was, I mean, it wasn't it was just so heartbreaking. Because I'm just like, you don't deserve that. You don't need to punish yourself. And I'm sorry, every adult in your life was shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's really, it's so sad, so heartbreaking. And then that whole dinner scene. Oh man, I wanted to punch Kurt so badly, because Harrison is questioning Kurt. You can tell that Harrison does have this gut instinct down deep that this is not a good guy. I mean, the fact that he leaves and pretends that he's going to get wood so that he can, see the text from Dexter, and he's got a little bit of fear there when Kurt comes out. But then, because Kurt knows how to play on his vulnerabilities, and Kurt probably does this to people all the time, is my guess, and a lot of men, and that's why he's got all these people kind of networked, is he probably plays on that. Like, he probably did it with Logan, and he probably does all this stuff all the time. And so he knows that, and Kurt knows what buttons to push. So he knows that even though Kurt, I think, can tell that Harrison is a little bit nervous and scared, he's like, well, I'm going to pull you back in very easily because you're a lost boy who is hurting and who has been abandoned by your father.
I thought I was going to clear my throat and something else came out. I'm like, oh, unintended.
That was great.
Awesome.
My stomach was agreeing with you.
And then when Kurt has the gall to say, I would have never abandoned you, I was like, fuck you. That's when I tweeted out that F you, Kurt, was for that, because that was like, that was fucking so low.
That was
so fucking low, because you're going to go and kill him and you're going to fucking say that to him. I'm like, oh, you are an ass. That was so low. Oh,
it's like he had to say that to him. So Harrison got to that level of that fear and kind of desperation and tell me what to do, because clearly that's what Kurt enjoys, is generally these women running away, running for their life in total and utter fear and everything. And that's where he wanted to build Harrison up and get him to that point of like trust and whatever, just to snap it all apart. So then that way Harrison would properly run away from him and Kurt could fulfill his weird grossness.
Yeah.
Oh, he was just the worst.
Oh, I hate him so much, and he's such a coward. He tries to pretend that he's not a coward, and he is such a flippin' coward. I hate him with a burning passion. So I want to talk about the last scenes with Harrison and Dexter, because Dexter gets there. Dexter, I think, was very clever to put on the coat of the other guy. But then, of course, Kurt figures it out. Kurt runs away like a coward. And then Harrison and Dexter have that hug. And then the moment in the truck. This is why this episode has a 5 for me. This is, a lot of reasons, but this is why it definitely is a 5. There, these scenes. So, Carla, your thoughts on these scenes with Dexter and Harrison?
This is pretty much what the show has been building to with them together, to this point where Dexter has no choice but to tell Harrison like the truth, like his actual history. Um, and it's I think also, like as much as people are like, oh, he should have just told Harrison about this stuff right when Harrison shut up. Why would he do that? Like first of all, it's traumatic. Why would he put him through something like that? Why would he give his son um the, this kind of like more reasons to hate him?
Yeah.
But also, like, it's his son, but it's still a total stranger. And what if he uses this information against him? So there are just so many reasons for which, for which it made sense that Dexter kept his mouth shut until now. And yeah, a lot of it did have to do with him not wanting to pass a legacy on to Harrison that he himself loathed about, that he loathes about himself and that he tried so hard to run away from. Um, and now he's forced to confront that. And I think it's a very interesting choice of words when he tells Harrison that, you're not alone with your dark thoughts as opposed to your dark passenger, where he's kind of trying to do this in a more delicate way than Harry did. So I think he's aware of the ways in which Harry failed him. And then the whole Born in Blood thing comes up again. And I'm like, oh my God, like, just please, enough. I have so had it with that phrase. If I never have to hear that phrase again.
Well, I'm sure you're going to hear it again, but.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Probably
you're going to cram it into the
6 to
next
8
two
more
episodes.
times.
Yes. Yes. Like it'll be, at Dexter's trial, he was born in blood, and Dexter will say born in blood. And then the jury will say born in blood.
Born in blood. Born in blood.
Born in blood.
Yes, like a rousing chant that'll start like a slow clap. Born in blood. Born in blood. Born in blood. Born in blood. Born in blood.
And then that's Dexter.
That's Dexter. But yeah, I mean, it's, and Harrison kind of leaping over the middle part of the car to just throw himself onto Dexter. That, there's so much heartbreak involved with Harrison in this entire episode from the beginning, where because it's not just him looking at Audrey and seeing this girl that he had, that he has this crush on, going with another guy. It's also him watching this adolescence that he wishes he could have for himself. That's just normal. That's just, kids doing kid stuff that he doesn't get to have. And then feeling bad about it, blaming himself for it. So much self-loathing in this episode, and then to end on this kind of cathartic part where he just gets to lay all of this on his father and not feel alone, not feel broken. And I just, like, I'm not happy that Dexter's his father, but I was happy for him that he finally got that acknowledgement that, you have these thoughts, but you're not I'm not judging you for having them. I don't hate you for them. If anything, I share this burden with you, and I'm going to talk to you more about it. And it's such a promising note. And also with Dexter as a father, because he always did love Harrison. I mean, he was very attached to him, and he wanted to do right by him all along. And yes, he sees him as an extension of himself, but he also sees him as somebody that he wants to be better than himself, which I think is like one of those ultimate parental goals, that we want to pass on to our kids all of the good qualities in ourselves, but also kind of lay the path for them to become even better people than the best versions that we could have ever hoped to be. And all of that in like that one scene, the writing, the acting, the directing really came together, um, because that scene, it's so brief, but you just get so much out of it in your heart, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
beautifully.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a short scene, tiny but mighty, but it did all those things. And when he leaped across, and well, even when Dexter's like, all right, kind of here's the start of it. You don't have to be alone in this. You're, blah, blah, blah. Starts to open up. And yeah, just that relief and that kind of like, oh my God, finally, finally, finally. It was, I mean, that's how I felt. I'm not sure how Harrison felt. Maybe he felt about the same way, but no, it was a very great scene. And again, Carla, I think you fucking nailed that one. No, don't have a lot to add there, but yeah, the performances, the way it was shot, I like that it was just in that old dirty truck and everything, and he's in another man's clothes and whatever. No, it was very nice. It was very, I think, even like cathartic for like the fans of finally we're to this place. And I think you're right in that just like realistically it wouldn't have made sense. It's kind of like those other movies where it's like, oh well, I could have told you. It's like even like Wizard of Oz. Like I could have told you how to go home, as simple as that, but you had to go out and experience some shit and kind of figure it out. And maybe it's not exactly that, but that's kind of what it feels like. Because again, if Dexter had just come out right away, oh, BT Dubs, I'm a serial killer, all this
Yeah.
stuff, it would not, because Harrison was not in a place to accept that. He didn't know what he was looking for coming up there, which is fair. So to just be hit with that, be like, look, you can make up a lot of shit, but really, this is what you're gonna come at me with. But almost being murdered and then saved by your serial killer father will really put things into perspective and put you in a place to be more open and accepting of the insane story and life of you and your dad, basically.
Yeah.
So it's promising. I'm hoping that however they decide to build on it, that they'll continue to build it in a good kind of bit more positive way, not necessarily showing Harrison the code. I think Dexter will tell him about what it was and maybe even acknowledge like, this is where your grandpa fucked up with me. I tried to overcorrect. Clearly I still fucked up. And then Harrison be like, oh, so it's a family thing. Got it. Just doomed to get fucked up from bad parenting. So
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic. No, I'm pretty excitedly optimistic. I was cautiously optimistic at the start of the series, but fuck it, I'm all in. Let's do this.
Yay. Yay. And before I give my thoughts, because I have a lot of feelings about this scene, and I'm going to read Dexter's quote at the end too, because I loved the last lines of this. But I just want to say what Mal said, or like, we will rock you, wait, I'm trying to get that.
Stop, clap.
Yes,
Stop,
yes.
clap.
Born in
Born in blood.
And then
Harrison, you born in
born in
blood.
Yes.
I love this duet.
I'm definitely gonna have to add this into the singing video clips I have. So, because there's been a lot of singing in this one. So here's the reason I think it would have been awful if Dexter had run after Kurt. I understand the urge to want, because I want Kurt to die a lot. And I understand that frustration of, oh, you could have left. Harrison needed that. Harrison deserved that. Harrison earned that. In this episode, above all other episodes, Harrison deserved that hug more than his father killing the guy who tried to kill him. He deserved that. And he needed that. And it was such a real and honest moment between them, the most honest moment, and then of course the truck too, but the most honest moment they've had so far. And I think also Dexter was so afraid that he was going to lose Harrison, and he was scared. And so I think there was also relief with Dexter of like, ah, I'm not going to lose you like I lost Deb. So there was, so I think for Dexter, there's only been two people I think Dexter has ever truly loved, Deb and Harrison. And so I think for him to lose Harrison would have been just devastating. And so I think there's also that in there. And Harrison deserved that hug. As much as we want him to go kill Kurt, he deserved that. He deserved that real moment of having a father be grateful that Harrison was alive. Because I don't think Harrison thinks that Dexter gives a crap about him until that moment.
Mhm.
And the fact that Dexter saves him, when he keeps thinking Dexter doesn't give a crap about him, doesn't want to check on him, doesn't want to do anything like that. And here's Dexter coming in to save him, to literally save his life. That's what he did. He saved his life. And I think for Harrison, he didn't care about Kurt at that moment until right after that, but it was just like he needed that. It was like, oh, my dad actually might love me. This is amazing. And might love who I am. And so to me, it was so beautiful that it would have really bothered me if that hadn't happened. So I'm glad it happened. I mean, even though it means we get more Kurt, I still am glad that happened. I mean, I don't want more Kurt, but still. And then the scene in the truck was so beautiful because it was like the first time Dexter basically was saying, this is my fault. And he didn't outright say that, but he said, this is my fault that you feel this way. It's my fault that you feel like I don't accept you, like I don't understand you, like I'm not there for you, because I should have told you this a long time ago, but I didn't know how to tell you this. And now I know you have to know, you need to know in order for you to maybe heal. See, my thought is I really, and I'm hoping I'm right, I really don't think Dexter wants Harrison to be like him. I think he's going to be honest and open up and say everything, but I'm hoping what happens is he says, this is not the path I want for you. If we can find a different way for you to channel this instead of killing people, if we can get you therapy, keep going to therapy. We're honest to a point with the therapist. I mean, but if we can get you that, I'm hoping that's what happens. I know most of the fans want Harrison to be team up with Dexter and kill people with Dexter. I don't really want that. So,
I
but
don't really want that either. I don't really, really want a father-son murdery duo. I joke about it because it's funny, but it's one of those. It's so like just ridiculous, right? It's
Well,
totally
and
ridiculous. You can't take it seriously. The
no.
father-son, because then that is some sitcom shit.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was Morgan.
Dad. Harrison, did you clean those tools? I forgot. Oh, son.
Exactly.
That's the Morgans.
That's the
It's
Morgans.
But this is why I think what's going to happen is that just as they're getting close and just as Dexter's trying to lead Harrison away from killing and from all of this stuff, Dexter's going to get killed, and then Harrison's dark passenger will be Dexter.
Maybe, but not
Yeah,
to
I think
serve
that's
as
what's
like
gonna
a
happen.
dark passenger, but maybe as more of like a don't do what I did. Maybe
I
more of
don't
like a
know.
dark death.
No, I think
like,
that's
or-
what's going to happen, and that's going to be the spinoff because there's no
Yeah.
way they're not doing a spinoff.
they
I will
really
be shocked because of money. They're just not going to.
they just
So
I hate it
you
so
want
much.
so
I hate
Mal,
the
you want
idea.
yeah. So Mal, you want Harrison to kill Jim and then become a serial killer, and
Like the food
like
cereal.
Frosted Flakes.
I want to go
Honey
kill
Nut
some Fruity
Cheerios.
Pebbles.
Oh, I'll murder some oops all berries.
You're only missing 8 bingo. You're only missing 8 bingo squares, huh? Oh, you got me to say Jim. Very clever. No, but yeah. Well, and then I just want to say the line that Dexter has, and I'm just going to read the whole thing because I think it's amazing. This is all I had to do. This is all he ever wanted. Maybe if I'm being honest, maybe this is all I ever wanted to. That is the most honest line I think Dexter has ever said in this whole entire show, because he's also saying, I wanted this. I wanted this real connection. I wanted this hug. I wanted to be able to be open with someone who felt the same way, and for it to be more like this instead of like with his brother or instead of like with Harry. So that was just, that's when I almost cried because it was so beautiful, and the way it was said in the voiceover, and the fact that it was said right after, because Dexter's in the process of being like, and I'm going to tell you all this, I'm going to tell this, and he's in the middle of saying that when Harrison leans over and hugs him, because Harrison's like, you don't even need to be talking. You are finally saying what I've been wanting to hear from you my whole entire life.
You had me at dark thoughts.
Yep. Exactly. I kind of wondered. I was like, at what point did Harrison stop listening?
Right?
He was just so happy, so relieved.
Stop. You got me. Okay, you got me. You had me at dark thoughts. You had me at dark thoughts.
So Mal is saying, I just think it would be best for Dexter to say goodbye to himself as Dexter, and then Harrison kill him as Jim, the new man who won't kill. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can. That's really, yeah, that's interesting. It's hard because I want Dexter to die, but there's this weird part of me now with stuff that's happening here. I'm going to be totally honest, that doesn't want there to be just 2 more episodes of seeing Dexter. It's because it's been done so well that I'm like, I'm not prepared to say goodbye to Dexter. I will be honest. And I don't want a spinoff, and I don't want a second season, but at the same time, I am so not ready to say goodbye.
I'm all about burn out, then fade away. Just go out with a bang on your terms. Tell the story. Don't do some forced bullshit spinoff or second season. Just tell this one story. Tell it well. And then it's like, the fans will always be like, theorize what happened afterwards. And that's fun. That's fun to do. Then you get your fanfics, you get your theory, movie theory videos and YouTube radio plays.
Yeah, but that's
just leave it at that.
Yeah. Like I would just be so much happier if they would just let it be, because it's a fantastic season, but they need to end it right. They can't do the same thing that they did with season 8, because that entire season was just such a finger to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And if they drop the ball again, like, oh my God.
Yeah. They bet too much to Showtime the first time around. And that's why, especially the finale, was so poo-poo. Hopefully, Showtime has learned their lesson and will let the showrunners do what they want, keep their grubby corporate little fingers out of it, and just tell the story. And then, I don't care. Renew another show. Make another show to get your fucking money. Don't drag this shit out, man. I've enjoyed this season. I've enjoyed watching Dexter. It's been a lot of fun, but I don't want it to get stale. And that's what's going to inevitably happen. This is great.
And I'm just
loving it.
I'm burned out on shows that just take too long to end. There's no reason to keep dragging things on. Like, I get it, the money and everything, but like there's some shows that I haven't gone back to since the season screwed up, since the finale and like the final season screwed up everything that I had loved about the show. And I haven't gone back to rewatch them because I can't even, like, knowing how it ends, I can't put myself through going to that precipice and then falling off again. Yes, I'm not interested in that. Yeah. But also How I Met Your Mother. Like, that's another one that...
Which we're talking about later this year.
Which I'll be
Or next
on.
year. Yes, next
Yeah.
year. Sorry.
Yes, by later this year, she means in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Are you ready, ladies?
Not at all, but let's do it anyway.
We're talking about it now. We're gonna switch over to How I Met Your Mother. That would be a weird switch.
Oh
but-
God.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mal, because the show ended up at episode 18 of season 15. So
Yeah. In my mind, it ended a lot. Other than that.
I thought I stopped watching Supernatural at after the Leviathan season. And so I went back to pick up, and I'm like, once they announced the show was ending, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go back and I'll finally finish it. And because what Leviathan's like season 7?
7, yeah.
Mhm.
So I get into 8 and I'm like, I've seen this. And then I get into 9, I'm like, I've seen this. I got up to like 12 and I was like, I was not paying attention to anything, but I saw all of that. And then I think I need to still watch seasons 13, 14,
No, you
and
don't.
15.
No.
But I started one of them and I'm like, God, it took me long enough to finish 12. I don't
You don't need to watch
I don't
them.
want to do it.
You don't
I
need
don't.
to.
They just get worse and worse.
Dean Winchester is my all-time favorite character ever, ever, ever. And that was the only reason I continued to watch the show, because I hated every other character by then. So pretty much, I mean, except for like Donna and a couple others, but
Sure,
I did
yeah.
not like, well, I hate Sam anyway, but I did not like Cass by that point. It was boring. I'm just, yeah. So you don't need to.
See, and I got tired of it. I'm just like, here's the format, and then they're gonna get like force thrown against a wall, and that's where they're gonna be stuck for a minute, and then they're
There'll
not
be a lot
gonna
of crawling.
a lot of crawling, yeah. And it's just kind of one of those things that once that ceiling breaks, that illusion's gone, and you're just like, I can't unsee these things, and now they annoy me.
Yeah. Well, and back to Dexter. with
Sorry,
the Dex-
yeah.
No, we were all doing it. I don't care. I was just saying, the only reason I'm
Yeah.
saying that is because back to I'm not saying I want another season. I'm just saying it's starting to hit me that we only get 2 more episodes of Dexter. And they were saying when they were doing this that, it's very clear to me. It seems very clear to me that Michael C. Hall does not want to return for more. That Michael C. Hall was like, this is the wrap up. And a lot of people did this as a wrap up, as a way of kind of making amends. And so that's why I think they will probably do something, but it will probably be something with Harrison. And one thing we have not mentioned yet, and I keep meaning to bring it up every time, and I finally remembered to do it this time because I was like, write it down. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, when you watch the opening title, the Dexter New Blood, if you look at the blood part, it fills with more blood each episode.
Oh, fun!
Ooh, I had not noticed that.
I'm all
Yeah.
more blood.
So it's like it's building up to
Yeah.
being filled to the brim, because it's
Oh,
not
that's
filled to the brim yet, but it's close. So yeah, yeah,
That's
you'll
cool.
notice it now, because I didn't notice it until someone said it on Twitter, and this was it was like 4 or 5 episodes ago. And I kept
Wow.
meaning to bring it up here, and I kept
does.
forgetting every time.
It does. It's so subtle. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it when shows throw little subtlety things in there. It's like not as subtle, but like, Walking Dead all these years, their title credits get more and more decayed as the years have gone on.
Yeah.
I don't like the show, but
Yeah, I stopped watching like season 5 or something.
I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, so it's always
We'll
fun
talk about it
when
on this sometime. Yeah, we're moving into How I Met Your Mother and then Walking Dead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's just fun. I didn't notice that, but now that I think about like tonight's title card too, I was like, oh, there was more red in there, wasn't it? It just tickles me.
Yes. Yeah. So I will be honest with you. When I do still think Dexter's gonna die. And I will be honest, I want him to die, but I will be honest, I will probably cry, which is so bizarre. So bizarre.
No, I mean that makes perfect sense. I know you never cry at anything. You're like, sometimes I wonder, like, are you dehydrated because there's just no tears? I know, right?
I
like,
never cry. It's all right.
Robo Aaron over here.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to end with something fun here. I mean, we're gonna, and then I'll have some announcements, but I wanted to just play this. Carla and Jen haven't seen this, but I'm putting together these video clips for Sunday for our end of the year. I know it's the beginning of the year. I know it's the 2nd of January, but it's our end of the year going into the next year celebration. We're gonna have clips from live streams. It's gonna be mainly from Dexter, American Horror Story, and then some other ones. And there'll be just different compilations of like, closeouts, sign-offs, host is horny. I'm not even kidding. There's one called Yes, Mistress. And of course, there's going to be some Finn Whitrock stuff. It's just going to happen. And then some other things as well. But like some best of things. But I wanted to play this one really quickly. So let me just pull it up here. Whoa. I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry.
But now what's popping up? Oh shit.
No, it wasn't that.
Don't get real horny in here.
Okay. Here we go. So, welcome. We are talking about episode 7. I had to look at the ticker because I couldn't remember which episode number we were on for a minute there. But anyway, thank you both. And I keep forgetting we're still live. So, sorry, everybody. This is about Pandora's box. I mean, not Pandora's box.
What the actual hell?
Oh, there's always a delay between this and YouTube, whatever. My heart broke. So
Just have given up.
yeah, I'm off except for podcast stuff until Monday.
This is going great. No,
clips.
I'm only on 47% of them.
I know. I was sharing clips. Panera just popped up and said, "Are you hungry?" I'm sorry.
That, because of the way that Logan, he was very firm and professional. What?
Aaron started like, yeah.
Sorry.
I haven't even said the good part.
I was
yet.
distracted.
Okay, so are you distracted by Logan? Is this what's going on here?
Yep.
So your Logan Day. I don't know what your Logan Day. Your Logan story. Go ahead.
Oh, the Logan. Okay, so before she starts conjugating Logan in Italian, like, how do we conjugate it out anyway? But I'm sure Aaron could find a way. Oh, babies for cease and desist.
Restraining order. And
What did you
Babies first cease and desist.
Oh, I thought you said baby's first season. Who is this? Let's talk about Harrison. So Garla.
Oh, okay. So
I thought that was like
just
actually
threw it back
it.
to
It was
me.
like-
Okay.
So,
Mhm. Tell me more about that.
Mhm.
that's what I'm hoping happens more than anything else, other than Kurt being murdered, is I want them to sit. Whoa.
If not a wig, then maybe just pieces added in.
Well, I think the red was ouch.
Why you're just so nonchalant about a serial killer murdering Harrison. And then it's like at one point I was like, well,
You mean
maybe
Rita murdered.
Oh, Rita, sorry, yeah. sorry.
I forgot for a
That's a
second we
timer.
were live on television on YouTube, and I was about to say something, and I'm not going to say it now. So. Are you okay,
Is
Carla?
that all right?
Carla, are you okay?
Oh, right.
Carla?
Oh.
Carla, are you okay?
I'm fine. It was just like something you sounded very like, robotic. like, and I was like, okay, I should probably restart this page.
Oh, okay. Because I was watching your face, and I'm like, did I do something to piss off Carla? Did she really not like karaoke that much?
I'm offended.
Anyway, so yes.
Oh, I'm all tangled. Jesus Christ. I can't do anything.
Discussions on there too, so about some stuff. So it's really good. I think the aliens are coming to take somebody away right now. I hear the noise. Coming January 2nd.
They're like, nah, we're good.
Oh no, they're coming back. Where we find it is, of course, Dexter has found. Sorry.
Whoa.
I'm back on his bed.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get out of here.
That was great.
Such dorks.
I kind of almost forgot you poked yourself in the eye.
I actually did hurt myself because I was looking in the mirror like the day after, and I was like, "Oh, I actually hurt myself." There was like a
and yeah, Carla, you were under the blanket, so I was like,
so you didn't even see it. You were just like, "No."
oh,
I know. I'm
great.
tempted to play another one, but that was...
Oh, that's hilarious. And clearly, I'm like, first of all, when it pops up, I'm like, I'm not doing what that's the video. And then I'm like, clearly, apparently, I only ever wear this gray sweater. I'm like, I can't tell when these videos are from. So.
Yeah, so I have a lot of those. So if you want to see more, because I have one that is like all of our sign-offs, our Dexter sign-offs that have been, I'm tempted to download it now, but it's but it's, I mean, it's actually the longest video I have. I think it's like it's like 7 minutes. Yeah, it's 7 minutes.
Make it chipmunk voice.
What?
Speed it up and make it chipmunk voice. For that added punch.
Yes. I don't know if you can do that in Canva. Can you do that in Canva?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong
know.
person.
I should
That's
ask
not
Erin
my...
because she does some really cool things with like the reels on Instagram. And I'm like, how did you do that? Because I put that together and I put all those together. But yeah. Well, thank you, Mal. Thank you. Yes, I love that we can put them in there now and we have our reactions, except for I always forget you can hear us now. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I know, like I have to give myself like, oh, I remember that. I was remember that happened too.
that time, well, in that time we lost you, Carla, it was so funny because that was a lot longer, and it was like I really thought you were pissed. I was like, and then when you just disappeared, we were both like, both Jen and I were like, okay, what the hell just happened?
No, like I remember exactly what happened because it just like everything got really garbled and I had no idea what was going on anymore. And I was like, should I go and try to come back?
But I just wanted to share at least one of those that'll be shared again on Sunday. So just let you know, and Jen and Carla will be there, right? It's going to be packed. There are like 6 people. There are going to be a lot of people on this one, just to let you know.
I hope you have 6 hours available.
I'm not working the next day. That's part of the reason I took the day off. I'm smart, but we're just going to count down, just talk about some of our favorite things. I'll have some thank yous. I'll probably just type up something instead of saying it, and it'll just play on here so I don't become emotional for the first time in my life. Shh,
that would be a miracle.
And some other things. And dropping tomorrow is part 2 of our best of 2021, where we talk about our favorite things, movies, television, music. And then we also, and you can see it now if you go to our YouTube page, you can see it now. But we also do a special shout out to Josh Rubin and also to his fiance Lauren Sick. But if you go to our YouTube channel, it's there right now, so you can see that ahead of time. But it is part of that episode, and we count down. And I only had one more Finn Whitrock thing, so it's a miracle.
Only
Wow.
one. Wow. What's happening?
Okay, and then coming soon. I should play this one again, but I will play it as our closeout. So when we're done, but coming Saturday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Christian fucking Bale month, man.
Woo!
We're kicking it off finally. And Carla will be there. Christian fucking Bale. Right? Right? Is Christian
That's
there with
right.
you now?
He is. He's always here with me, whether I want him to be or not. Just kind of sitting there on the edge of my couch, looking at me like, "Can I talk now? I have things to say too. I was sitting here watching Dexter as well, and you never let me share my opinions." And I'm like, "Okay, you share them with me all the time,
Sounds
though."
like Pinocchio.
Okay, look, I didn't want to say anything, but he is doing a live action version of Pinocchio.
Oh my god!
And like now I think he's going to he signed an NDA. He really can't talk about it, but I can because I didn't sign a damn thing. So loophole,
Be
Christian
hilarious
Bale.
if we ended up doing it.
The news
Man.
broke on It's a Fandom Thing podcast.
I'd hate to think of like what he'd put himself through to prepare for
Oh, I
this.
know. He puts himself throrough so much,
He
man.
actually implanted toothpicks just to see what it would be like to feel like a wooden boy.
I don't like it. That's a gross feeling.
I can just see his legs. They go in under the skin. And
Oh, that's too far for you. That's too far.
But I'm very excited. Yes, and I will get to our live tweet too, Mal. But I'm very excited to start our Christian fucking Bale month. So just to let you know, the other things we're going to talk about, we're also going to have another live stream Saturday the 8th, talking about the very happy movie, The Machinist. Talking about weight loss. Holy moly. So we're going to talk about The Machinist. And then the following weekend, we're going to be talking about The Fighter, which was another weight loss. And then we are going to be wrapping it up with talking about Equilibrium and then The Prestige. Which I think those are the ones that Carla is the most excited about.
Yes, I mean, I guess.
No,
Whatever.
I'm really excited to talk about The Machinist, frankly. I think that's a great film. I think he's amazing. I think he's amazing in all these films. So it was hard to choose. There were some that I really was tempted to do, like Rescue Dawn and stuff, and The Big Short, and yeah, The Prestige is like the most popular panel we have. We have an alternate if all our panelists don't make it. And that one will be the live one. So the only one we won't be doing live, just to let you know, is Equilibrium because Sasha's on it. So, and Sasha unfortunately can't make the Dark Knight anymore. So it's just going to be Susie and Carla,
That's right.
unless Jen wants to hop on.
Oh, that's right. You did ask me, didn't you? Did I not respond to that?
I don't know if I did it. Did I?
you?
Yes, I'm asking you now.
When is it? We'll talk about when we're done.
Saturday.
of Schitt's Creek.
Wait, what's today?
Today is
Thursday.
Friday.
Duh.
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's a day ending in
Yes,
day.
I love Susie. Yes. It's a day ending in day. Yes. So yeah, we'll talk about it when we're done. But so that's kicking off. And then of course, once again, Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's only going to be a live stream. So if you want to watch it, you can only watch it live. Well, you can watch it later afterwards, but that's the only time you can watch it. That'll be just a fun mess of like 7 of us on here. So it's gonna be interesting trying to keep control. I'm so gonna not have control on that one. I can already tell. And then Monday night, 6 p.m. Join me and Mal, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Join me and Mal on Twitter as we live tweet the classic Halloween Town High. This will be my first time ever watching this movie. It's on Disney Plus, so come join us. This will be a lot of fun. It'll be the most PG live tweet we have ever done. It will
Okay.
be.
It will be.
Nobody believes me. They don't believe me. Do you
Don't know
believe me,
why.
Mel? Mel
There'll be like a
probably
hot dad somewhere, and you'll be like, "Oh, hi. Tell me more about this principal."
doesn't. Have I been bad?
See? There it is.
We didn't even have to wait until Monday. We got the preview now.
It's a little teaser.
You forgot? Uh-oh. Something's going on. We may have to be postponing this. I have this feeling something's happening. Uh-oh. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I got distracted by what Mal was saying in the comments. I'm wondering if there's something going on. Just DM me, Mal. So anyway, so Carla, tell everybody where they can find you and your podcast.
Certainly. You can find my podcast, which I co-host with Meg, called Bedwetter Behead Podcast. And it is available wherever you get your podcast, friends. You can find us also on Twitter at bedwetbeheadpod, on Instagram at bed.wet.behead.pod, on Facebook, just look for Bedwetter Behead Podcast. And my photography you can find on my Twitter or Insta at Carlatemis, or my website, carlatemis.com, CARLATEMIS.
Awesome. That was really like soothing when you first started. I was like, I
Was.
wanted to like dim the lights, light some candles.
I was going for an ASMR feel. Hello. Welcome to my relaxation zone.
It's very calming.
Yes.
Very
So
relaxing.
So Mal did say the actual adults are attractive, so I guess maybe it won't be PG. Anyway.
PG-13-ish.
So Jen, where can they
Yeah.
find you?
Oh, I'm on the internet there, and you can find me on the old well, you can listen to the podcast, on well, just about wherever you get your podcast. You like the Spotify? I'm on the Spotify, don't you know? You like the Apple? Oh yeah, I got the Apple. Oh yeah. And what's the other? Oh, Pete. Fuck. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at Streaming Bubble, and then on Facebook and Instagram, my Streaming Bubble. That's about it.
That was the Midwestern ASMR.
Yeah. Exactly right.
People from Minnesota tune into when they want to relax. Oh yeah, I've had a hard day of work, don't you know? I need to listen to something relaxing.
Well, I'm just gonna go fire up the deer and crack a beer and throw in the headphones and listen to the old podcast, and just do the passes back and forth, keeping them laying straight,
Oh man. Okay, this is Erin. You can follow me on Twitter at @AprilBeauty. The E and the A and the B are capitalized. Make sure to like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/itsafandom_thing_pod. On Twitter at fandomthingpod. No it's in that one. On Instagram at itsafandom_thing_pod. On TikTok at itsafandom_thing_pod. If you would like to be a potential interview guest on the show, Michael C. Hall, Christian fucking Bale, Finn Whitrock, feel free to email us at itsafandomthingpod@gmail.com.
I love that. There was something very ethereal about that. I don't know. I just felt like I was in space. I don't know.
You were.
Okay.
Excuse me. And then I lose the etherealness. Okay, so
we're back.
Yes. So thank you so much, Mal. Thank you to the porn bots. Just kidding. Visit us earlier. Thank you to. We've had a couple other people watching a couple of times. We've had one person watching for the majority of this. So thank you, whoever you are. I don't know if you're like a porn bot collector and you're taking notes. Just kidding. But thank you, whoever you are. I hope you did enjoy watching our wonderfulness. Oh, that's you. So, you're watching in 2 different places. Oh, you're watching on your TV. Okay. Oh, you just popped my porn bot bubble. What's funny is a lot of people go back and watch these later. Anyway,
They're gonna know exactly what's going on. All right.
Okay, so we are out of here. I am going to close out by I am just going to play the Christian fucking Bale month promo here. So thank you so much, Mal. Oh no, don't be sorry. Thank you so much, Mal, for watching, and thank you to anybody else who tunes in later, and hope to see you all on more live streams. These are so much fun. Oh, Mal, that was hilarious. Thank you for that. So until next time, good night. Whoa. Good night, everybody. Bye. American Psycho. I'm putting Christian fucking Bale. It's just that's all I'm putting on.
Yes.
I mean, that's not all I'm putting on there.
What you're about.
I'm about Christian fucking Bale. Okay. And then when Christian fucking Bale comes on the show,
You just replay that clip for him.
yes,
Just to show your enthusiasm for him as an actor.
Yes.
Listen, Christian Bale, I have been so enthusiastic about you coming on that I actually dreamboarded you into this podcast. Let me play you a clip.
And then all of a sudden, he disappears from the screen. Or actually, I think he would appreciate it. And he'd be like, this is very interesting.
Right, like, I'm flattered, or whatever it sounds like in a Welsh accent. Oh, I'm flattered. Thank you, Erin, for appreciating me in all of my multifaceted glory.
Oh, so that's what Christian Bale was talking to me about the other day.
Oh.
He told me, Carla, I think I'll see you on Saturday. And I was like, Christian Bale, you're already living with me. Like, I see you every day. Why Saturday is special? And you'll find out. No idea how excited he is about this. He has been after me forever. Because, he sleeps on my couch, right? He lives in my house and he sleeps on my couch. And all he does is bug me about, remind me again, when is my month starting? And I'm like, it's freaking January. It's the entire month. Oh, I just like to hear it over and over again. And I'm like, look, Christian, okay, like, it's bad enough you're just like sitting here rent-free. You eat all the marshmallows in the house and you don't contribute to anything.
All the marshmallows.
He sold the marshmallows. Like, I have to buy extra marshmallows for Christian fucking Bale. And all he does is talk about himself and your podcast, which I don't mind talking about the podcast. I mind him talking about himself all the time. And I'm so excited for the podcast that's going to be all about me. And I'm like, okay, you think everything's about your little Christian.